I want to welcome you to Networking to Build Your Business Contacts, and let me get rid of some of this other stuff. And whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, I'm sorry here. Just get rid of, how come it's not going away? Anyway, it's Networking to Build Your Business Contacts and Boost Your Revenue. If you're like a lot of people in business and you've gone to networking events and you've wondered, is it really worth your time and trouble? Well, you're not alone. In today's one-hour webinar, what I'm going to present to you are some easy-to-master communication and networking techniques that will increase your odds of connecting with colleagues and clients and prospects at all kinds of events, company events, industry conferences, any other kind of business meeting. Now, whether you're in sales or whether you're in management or any other kind of aspect of your business, you can benefit from networking. So here's what I'm going to cover today.
Don,
yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we can't see your screen. Are you sharing currently?
Okay, let me see here. What do I click?
It should have given you a pop-up that said share my screen and given you the option which screen to share.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't see it here.
Okay, let me go ahead and switch.
Show my screen. Okay, how about that?
Yes, now we can see it. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Sorry, folks. On today's agenda, I'll be covering, and this will go fast because there's a lot of little details that I want to cover and a little number of exercises as I go along. But I'll be talking a little bit about pre-event strategies. What can you do before you go to an event? It's not, my approach is, this is all like public speaking. All speaking is public speaking, and a little bit of preliminary work and practice can pay off for you. Also, establishing some networking goals. What do you really want to accomplish when you go to a networking event or a business meeting in terms of connecting with people and other possible ways to help boost your contacts and increase your revenues. I'm going to also tell you some tips on breaking the ice, how to remember names, continuing and joining conversations, dealing with some of those time-wasting networkers, and how to follow up, and also give you some final tips for our session today. So here we go. In your pre-event strategies, there's a couple things that I really like to do, and one of them is get a guest list. Now, what that means is that you have to contact the organization or person who's hosting the event and literally ask them, is it possible for me to get a list of people who are going to be attending the function or event? Now, sometimes they will say yes, and sometimes they will say no. The benefit of it is this. It helps you determine a little bit of your message. How do you want to present yourself at this particular event to these particular people? Because every event is going to be a little bit different, and so if you can understand who's going to be attending, it's going to make a big difference. Also, it's going to help you remember names, and this is something that we'll be talking about in just a few minutes. But remembering names will is something that you can easily do. It's going to help you if you have that list of attendees to kind of get an idea of maybe common first names, duplicates, or some of those names that are maybe a little bit hard to pronounce or unfamiliar. The other benefit of getting the guest list, excuse me, pardon me, is to target your attendees. Who's going to be there that you really want to talk to? Let's face it. If you're in a group of 20 or 30, 40 people, and you have 1 hour or so to make those connections, it's going to be very hard to talk to everyone. So getting that guest list will help you identify some of the people that you may want to target as potential clients or customers that you want to follow up with, or just people that you've met before that you want to reinforce that contact. Another pre-event strategy is to talk to the hosts. Now, I can't tell you how important it is to pick up your phone or even send an email and just shoot a message or make that call to people who are hosting the program. First of all, it makes that initial connection. So instead of being a cold connection when you actually go to the event, it's nice to already have made that connection in a prior way, either by telephone or by email. It also allows you to get a little bit of inside information about who's going to be attending, what's going on in the industry or with that particular organization or with people. Finally, when you ask a host, look, I'd really love it. I understand that, Brian Knight is going to be at this event, and I'd really love to meet him. We never had a chance to meet at some of the other functions. Would you mind introducing him to me? This is a way of personalizing your contact with the host and getting him or her to kind of help you, make those connections that we're all looking for. Another pre-event strategy is to do some background research, just a little bit, not so much about the individuals, although that can be helpful. It's not overly personal research, but learn about the company, what's going on in that industry, even if it's your industry. You want to be able to demonstrate you have knowledge and that you're kind of paying attention to what's going on. And it also, you can find out who's moving where and doing what. When you're networking, I think one of the most frustrating things is when you find out one of your contacts is no longer with a company or an organization that you've had that contact in a prior event or meeting or in some way. So if you know about what's going on in the industry, you know their relevant news, and demonstrate some knowledge, people are going to see you as somebody who's paying attention and is on the cutting edge of what's going on. Nobody wants to talk to somebody who's kind of been sitting behind their computer for the last X number of months and they don't really know, what's going on in their industry. Finally, when you are taking some pre-event strategies, let's go back to the targeting element where you really want to focus in on who you want to meet. Let's face it, you've only got 60 minutes, maybe 90 minutes if you're lucky. You need to manage your networking time. It's not always easy to talk to a person right at the exact moment that you want to. So by targeting who you want to meet, it's going to help you manage your networking time and be in the right place at the right time with the right person. Now, one last point when it comes to pre-networking strategies, and that is pre-event strategies, is to prepare some related topics. And I'm going to get to the topics in a moment. But the whole point here is when you're networking, the trick here is to connect with people. It's not to sell. It's not to, try and push any of your new ideas or products onto other people. It's to make a contact, a connection for you and for the people with whom you meet. So from a communication standpoint, you want to be able to participate in a comfortable way. And this means not just talking shop. It means talking about related topics. It means to be able to participate in group conversations, sometimes about the topic of the industry, the news of the day, or perhaps another topic.